would you like to know the way to wealth? Even if the path is challenging, at least you'd know how to get there. It's not going to be easy, but knowing the path would be a lot less stressful. Hi, I'm Coach John, and I'm all about helping you make the right moves for your business. And I'm going to show you the 3 formulas for the way to wealth. In this coach session, I'm interviewing Joe Locricchio. He's the owner for H&J Solutions. Watch and listen as we walk through the way to wealth formula by Brian Tracy. Then we'll spend a few minutes applying the formula to Joe's business. At the end of this session, Joe identifies actions to generate more revenue faster for H&J Solutions. So get out a piece of paper and something to write with. Take notes, pause the video if needed. Identify your opportunities. Identify the aha light bulb moments for Joe and for you. I'll be back at the end of the video with action items for you to take advantage of this video. All right, so Brian Tracy, my business is a Focal Point franchise. It's obviously all the materials I get from Brian, plus what I do and how I do it. But Brian's written many, many books, and he wrote a couple of books called The Way to Wealth. And so we're going to go through the way to wealth. The first is the customer formula. This is how many customers do you actually get? What's it take to get customers? The second one is revenue, right? So how do we generate revenue from our customers? And the last one is this profit formula. Those are the 3 formulas we're going to talk about. Profit arguably being the most important because that's what goes in your pocket and you can go do something with. All right, so the customer formula starts like this. It says, okay, first we're going to talk about the number of leads, the number of potential people out there that could benefit from your products and services that maybe know of you, but they haven't bought anything. And so then we talk that and we multiply that by the effective success rate. We call that the conversion rate. And at some point here, we're going to get our number of customers, right? So if we take the marketing leads times the success rate, we'll get the number of customers. So if we have 500 marketing leads and we have a success rate of 20%, then we get 100 customers. Pretty simple, right?
Yep.
Okay, so we have the revenue formula, which essentially takes that same number of customers model, right? And it says multiply it times the average sale amount. Now the average sale amount, some people will say, hey, nothing is ever the same. Every invoice is different. The way you calculate it is you just sum up all of the invoices, divide by the number, and you will get an average. That's your average. And if that number goes up, your revenue will go up, right?
Right.
And then ultimately we have the sales per period. How often does somebody come in and buy something from you? So in the retail market, how many times you come into the store, how many times you get into the shop, how many times you go to the fast food restaurant, those sales per period, really pretty important stuff, right? So here we got our 100 customers, and then we have our average sale amount. We're saying a nominal $30 per person, right? But they come into the store twice, right? And the period could be monthly, quarterly, semi-annual, annual. You have to decide what you want to pick, right? But ultimately, this yields $6,000 in revenue, right? And so then we have the gross profit formula, which is, okay, we're going to take our revenue, and we're going to take our cost of goods, right? The stuff that we had to buy that we resold. In this case, we're saying that's 50%. So now we have a gross profit number of $3,000. And then we have the net profit, which basically says, hey, I'm going to take gross profit, I'm going to subtract out my operating cost, and I'm going to end up with a net profit of $2,400, right? These are the 3 formulas, and this is kind of how it works. Now, this is what's really amazing, because now we're going to talk about the power of compounding. And Albert Einstein said compound interest is the most powerful formula in the world, right? Let's see what happens here, right? We're going to take that same customer formula, and we're going to increase those numbers by 10%, right? So you have any idea what that number is going to come out to be if we go up by 10% on each one of these?
10% on each one.
Yeah.
550.
Yeah, so 550 is going to turn into 5. So 500 is going to go to 550.
Right.
Right. 20% is going to go to 22%. Right.
Right.
But the cumulative difference is 21 new customers. Right. Because they compound on top of each other. Right.
Right.
So we have got a 21% impact. Right. Because we made those 2 things 10% better. Right. All right. So let's take our revenue formula. Now we have 121 customers. We're going to go from $30 to $33 per person. Right. And we're going to go from 2 to 2.2, right? Now look what happens to our revenue now. Now we've got all 4 things that are really jumping on top of each other, right? And we've got a much bigger impact, 46% in revenue, just by growing each one of those things by 10%, right? And 10% is not that much. If you're saying 500 leads over the course of a year, and you want to grow it by 50, that's like 4 leads a month. Not a remarkable number. Right? 4 leads a month. I get 4 more people to talk to on a monthly basis. And then if we take a look at our gross profit number, in this case here, we're looking at the numbers to subtract. So we do a better job of buying our cost of goods, right? And we drive that down a little bit, and you can see our gross profit would go up a little bit from that as well, right? So now our gross profit goes up, right? And we have our net profit Same thing, right? If we're going from 20% to 18%, now all of a sudden, we're looking at 60+% revenue growth, actually profit growth, in whatever this time period is, right?
Right.
So I tell people, hey, we can double your business in a couple of years. If you were getting 61% more at the end of this year than last year, it wouldn't take you even 2 years to get it done.
That'd be great.
And all we had to do was improve each one of these numbers by 10%. All right, now that you've seen and understand the 3 way to wealth formulas, the customer formula is the beginning, and it all starts with leads. Let's see what Joe has to say. So today, you're meeting people and talking to people on a frequency basis.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think you could do to scale that up? How could you meet more people? How could you talk to more people? How could you present to more people?
I think the internet would help.
Yeah.
Right?
The internet, the world's biggest phone book.
One to many,
Mm-hmm.
like you taught me.
Yeah.
Room full of people,
Uh-huh.
maybe a seminar.
Okay.
Right.
So that's another one, a good seminar, right?
Good seminar.
I do these all the time, but you have a nice message. So Joe mentions one-to-many marketing, the internet, and public speaking, maybe even a seminar. And we talk about what Joe needs to learn. Let's find out. What would you have to learn if you were going to do some public speaking?
The format.
The format. You'd have to build your message,
Right.
right? And now you have to find people,
Yeah.
right? We have to recruit them in here.
That's right.
It's one thing if we're in a network meeting group and we can just walk there and shake hands as a person right there. That was easy.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We have to get visitors in our group all the time.
Right.
But now we're talking about finding people that are outside of that group. So how are we going to go find them so that they understand that there's this opportunity for a 9% cash flow solution, which is a very nice solution. I'm certain there are people out there that are interested in that solution.
Absolutely.
So it probably is some new marketing strategies.
Okay.
Because it's not going to be networking. So many of us use networking as a marketing strategy, but it's really one-to-one. And if we're going to engage in a one-to-many model, we'll need a more broad marketing strategy, one that reaches a lot more prospects. So let's see what Joe's ideas are for broader marketing strategies. Right? So what do you think from a marketing standpoint? We got the internet, right?
Right.
So how would you use the internet to help market your speaking engagement?
Video.
Video, right? What we're doing right here,
What are we doing here?
right here.
That's right.
Okay. We do another set of videos on your speaking engagement.
Okay.
We're not really talking about that today,
Right.
But we could,
We could.
and then we could put that all over the place.
Okay.
So Joe mentions video, and video is a terrific tool because it works when you're sleeping, and it has no boundaries. Let's see where Joe thinks he can put the video to help broaden his marketing strategy. So where do you think off the top of your head you would put the videos?
My social media.
Mm-hmm.
YouTube.
What are you using for social media?
Facebook, Twitter,
Mhm.
all the social medias.
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn. I'm
Yeah.
all there. Yep.
Okay.
Put it all on that.
YouTube.
YouTube.
YouTube is maybe where you house the videos,
Okay.
and then you can embed them into all those other platforms.
Okay.
Right? So it has to be a place to hold them.
Website.
Website, right? I mean, the list of ways you could use a video is longer. People are still
Yeah.
inventing ways to use a video.
Right.
One of the things I like to use is I put the video in my signature line on my email. And if I meet somebody, I say, hey, look, or if somebody sends me a message via social media or something else, I say, hey, check out this video, and I can send them an email, right? And so I connect to them and to their email system, and they get to listen to a different part of me, right? That I can't necessarily explain to them very easily because I don't have the time. I don't have the time to do it for everybody. But if you think about video, how many people can watch a video?
The number's unknown.
It's kind of limitless.
Yeah,
right? It's
limitless.
kind of like and it works when you're sleeping,
And no zip codes.
and no zip codes. And for you, I mean, your business isn't really geographically bounded.
No. I can send you a check anywhere in the world, John.
So anybody in the world
That's right.
could be your customer.
Absolutely.
They just need to know you exist.
That's right.
I guess that's really what I think is the most important thing.
Okay.
The other thing you're looking at, when we look at those two other components, were really the average sale amount or the frequency. Now, the frequency is important,
Yes.
right? So if somebody buys one house, somebody buys two houses, somebody buys three houses, four houses, that obviously makes a huge
It
difference.
sure does.
And for you, this is going to give you that opportunity to fund more of the Betty Fund.
That's
It's going to give
exactly
you a
right.
lot more, this is why you do this thing. All right, so the average sale amount and the frequency of sale are the two big compounding components of the revenue formula. So let's see how Joe applies a volume discount to increase frequency. How would we increase the frequency? How would you think about doing that?
Like I said earlier, internet, video.
Okay. The way the fast food restaurants do it is they do it with this thing called a loyalty program.
Okay.
You buy 10, you get one free.
Right.
Bistro 24 right over here. Every time I go in there, you get a point.
Okay.
15 points, you get a free sandwich.
Right.
Right? I keep going.
Right.
Every 15 trips. And whether I buy a cup of coffee or a soda or anything else, I get a point.
Right.
So if somebody buys 10 houses, do they get a deal?
Haven't thought about that.
Good question.
Good question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's a big deal.
I mean, everything is negotiable. I
Right.
own the company.
Right.
So, yeah, it's a big
So
deal.
that would be one of the ways to think about, how could I maybe implement some sort of a loyalty program for people that are coming more frequently or participating more frequently. So conversion rate is the second component of the customer formula. This is what Joe has to say. So we have to be more effective from a compelling standpoint, or make it easier one way or the other. What would you do with either one of those?
Just introduce them to my existing clients right now and let them tell them about it.
Testimonials.
Yeah, testimonials are huge.
Yeah.
I can continue to pat myself on the back, but that only goes so far.
Yeah,
It's better when others praise you, and you're not continually praising yourself.
Yeah, you get into that self-promoting thing, and that's never
Exactly.
really. All right, so we've reviewed the concepts with Joe, and he's figured out some of the things that he wants to do. Let's see what he says is the first activity to get started with his one-to-many marketing model. So what's the first thing you're going to do?
Hire you, John?
Oh, okay. I like that answer. That's a good answer.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's start with the next thing then.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you think? What else do you think you need to do?
I think I need to make a video,
Okay.
right?
Mhm.
I think I need to use the scale system that you're talking about,
Mhm.
so to speak. Get my message out there
Okay.
to people.
All right. Now you've heard the Way to Wealth formula, and you've heard Joe's ideas on how to grow his revenues, like one-to-many marketing, speaking engagements, video, social media, and testimonials. It's time for you to take action. Consider the following ideas to help you get started on your way. Identify at least one new opportunity to increase the 4 revenue-generating categories. That's leads, conversion rate, average sale amount, and frequency of sale. And we've got a cheat sheet if you need some help. Just send us a note. Number 2, identify the one skill you need to learn to implement each of your opportunities. And number 3, commit. Commit to at least one new strategy to grow your revenues. Now I want your feedback. Please scroll down right now and leave a comment. Tell me if this was helpful or you'd like to see a video that addresses a different issue or challenge. Continuous improvement is the key to the way to wealth. Now as a chess player, I know it's all about making the right moves. Make the right moves in the right order, that's the path to winning. Making the right moves is the path to winning in business too. Because when you make the right moves, winning gets a lot easier.